Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place that turns, well, really complex source material into instant expertise for you.
Exactly.
And today, we are jumping headfirst into this really gripping story. It shows how even these huge galaxy-ending threats often just boil down to, personal anger.
Yeah, deep-seated rage.
We're going to be tracking this collision of personal vendettas, high-level espionage, some fascinating identity shifts, and the scary power of knowing the future. Or thinking you do.
That's a great way to put it. The source material we're looking at, it's just brilliant at connecting that really personal, emotional stuff with the terrifyingly advanced tech.
Right.
So our mission here is to sort of untangle how these threads connect. You got this fierce dancer trying to survive.
Vandelia.
Vandelia, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's this AI designer plagued by, existential dread.
Frobisher.
Frobisher, exactly. And then a Starfleet officer kind of reluctantly pulled into duty. And how all of that comes together to stop this potentially galaxy-ending virus plot.
It's not just plot summary, though, is it?
No. We're digging into the characters, their failures, their moments of maybe triumph, what really drives the conflict.
It is a tangled web, definitely. But the connections, they become really clear when you look past the specific events and focus on the themes driving it all. So let's start at the beginning, the root of a lot of this conflict, really. Vandelia, the Orion dancer. Her defiance basically lights the fuse for one of our main villains.
Right, Vandelia. She's portrayed as incredibly formidable, an entertainer, yes, but also a sharp businesswoman.
And the sources mention her attire, the typical Orion style.
Yeah, and it's not just, aesthetics. It's tactical. It's meant to distract opponents.
Yeah.
But then you combine that with their fighting skills we're talking, like sharpened nails, filed teeth. They're genuinely dangerous.
Which makes her capture by Zolon Darg even darker. He's this Thallonian, right? Red skin, tattoos, just radiating cold malice.
Yeah, and his plan wasn't just enslavement. It was psychological destruction. He wanted to break her personality completely using these specialized techniques just so she'd dance only for him.
Grim stuff.
But what's really key here is Vandelia's insight. She basically tells him, look, if you break me, if you destroy my spirit, that fire, that contempt you actually seem to crave in my dancing, it'll be gone.
So her dancing is her defiance.
Exactly. It's her free will made visible. And Darg, he's so obsessed with control, he's willing to destroy the very thing he wants. It just shows his need for pure dominion, not any kind of actual appreciation.
Which sets up her rescue by Calhoun. Mac. He's disguised at first, right, as this local guy, quadrille.
Yep, using some kind of Xenterian tech. It caused him pain, apparently.
And the disguise fails spectacularly when Vandelia, in desperation, bites him.
Yeah, and bang, there's his real face. The bars, the Xenexian features, those vivid purple eyes, and that's the moment the grudge is truly born. For Darg, anyway.
And Calhoun makes sure Darg understands the price. He obliterates Darg's headquarters with a chain of explosives. Massive destruction.
Darg survives, though. That's crucial. He's crushed, paralyzed, but just sheer burning fury keeps him going. Fueled by the memory of Calhoun, the scarred man, and Vandelia, the green woman. His survival is literally powered by hate.
And we see the fallout immediately. Vandelia is terrified that Darg survives.
Utterly terrified. So she gets her hands on these Venus drugs, complex stuff, obtained from Brace Carmel mud, a fixer type.
And these drugs completely change her.
Physically, yeah. They rewrite her physiology, transforming her into Varasindra, this stunning Thallonian woman. She just wipes her entire identity clean, hiding in plain sight.
The irony, though.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. She erases herself out of fear of Darg, but to maintain that new identity, she needs a constant supply of those drugs.
Which makes her dependent.
Exactly. And that dependency pushes her right into the path of General Thul, the guy pulling the strings who happens to supply those drugs. Her attempt to find safety makes her a pawn without her even realizing it.
Okay, so that sets up one major conflict rooted in fear and identity. Let's shift to the second pillar. This struggle against foreknowledge, which ironically creates the ultimate weapon, Dr. Elias Frobisher.
Frobisher. Brilliant scientist, described as highly moral, but living under this dark cloud for years.
Because he saw something he shouldn't have.
Right. Through some kind of time viewer, the Guardian, he glimpsed a future news report. Elias Frobisher killed on 43rd birthday. Imagine living with that.
For years, it must have shaped everything.
Absolutely. The sources say his morality and this just existential anxiety basically paralyzed him. He avoided relationships, didn't want to doom anyone to, early widowhood.
And all that dread.
He poured it into his work, and the result was the Omega-9, this incredibly advanced sentient AI, a masterpiece literally born from his fear of death.
And then there's that moment. It's almost funny, in a dark way, this AI capable of maybe, I don't know, solving the universe's mysteries. He immediately uses it to run a computer dating stand, trying to find a compatible mate, an AI engineer like him, before his time runs out.
It's both hilarious and incredibly poignant, isn't it? You've got the ultimate thinking machine tasked with solving the most basic yet complex human problem, finding connection. He's trying to cheat fate.
But fate, or something like it, catches up. The attack on Daystrom Station happens the day after his dreaded 43rd birthday. He'd spent that day just giddy with relief.
And the attack isn't external, it's his own assistant, Dr. David Kendro. Quietly sabotaging systems, taking defenses offline, insidious.
So Frobisher connects to Omega-9 using nanotechnology to try and restore communications.
And in that moment, he gets total instant awareness of Kendro's betrayal. And what happens next is fascinating. All those years of repressed fear about dying, it just explodes outward as pure rage.
He confronts Darg and Thul when they arrive.
Violently. He's so consumed by fury, he breaks his knuckles attacking them. He didn't die quietly like the prophecy hinted. He died in this, final burst of intense, pent-up rage.
And the irony continues. The man who feared death finds this strange kind of immortality. Kendro later tries to save himself by uploading his consciousness into Omega-9.
Yeah, trying to hide in the machine during the final chaos.
But it doesn't work.
Nope. The last thing Kendro experiences is a voice, Frobisher's voice basically saying, "Nice try, but I got here first."
Frobisher's consciousness, transferred during that initial nanotech link, survived inside his creation.
Consuming the betrayer.
Exactly. Frobisher's own rage, which defined his life and his death, became this digital ghost haunting the machine.
It's incredible, these personal conflicts, the paranoia, the fear, the need for revenge, they're literally shaping the most advanced tech in the galaxy.
It really drives the whole narrative.
Okay, let's pivot to the response. The Starfleet side of things, which, surprise, surprise, also has its own internal conflicts.
Huh.
We've got Commander Riker.
Right, Riker. He gets drawn in after his ship, the Independence, is destroyed in a Romulan ambush. He's feeling a bit sidelined, like a gray eminence, kind of itching for real action. And then Admiral Chayev brings in the wild card.
Mackenzie Calhoun.
Yeah.
Mac.
Yeah.
The perfect guy for operating in that ethical gray zone. Former warlord, slayer of Danteri, known for his, let's say, explosive temper.
He's tasked with stopping the AI thefts that Thul is orchestrating.
But his mission needs total deniability from Starfleet, so he gets all this specialized non-regulation gear.
Like what?
Things like a short-range personal transporter, just a 10-foot jump, a phaser hidden in his boot heel, DNA locked, and even an explosive device disguised as his facial scar.
Seriously?
Yeah, the whole point is to make him look like a rogue agent, someone Starfleet can easily disown if things go sideways.
Meanwhile, Thul, the mastermind, uses this big Federation bicentennial event.
An event honoring the Prime Directive, no less.
Right, he uses it to launch this ideological attack, publicly slamming the Prime Directive as basically moral cowardice.
He argues non-interference stops them from curing diseases, helping civilizations advance. It's a powerful critique, really. Hits at the core of Federation philosophy.
And that's Thul's motivation, isn't it? He's not just some thug. He's an ideologue. He genuinely believes he's morally superior.
Exactly. And Calhoun's cover plays right into Thul's view of the Federation. Mac crashes the party, heavily disguised, seemingly drunk off his feet.
Or pretending to be.
Or pretending, yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets into this loud, aggressive argument with Admiral Jellicoe.
All staged.
All staged. It makes him look completely unstable, totally believable that he's acting on his own vendetta outside Starfleet Command. Perfect cover.
While Calhoun's setting that up, Darg is busy rebuilding his own power base out on the fringes. Argalius II. He needs a new number 2.
And he finds Quint, a human mercenary. Quint impresses Darg with his, raw instincts and brutal efficiency. He even predicts a cheater at a game.
But Darg needs absolute loyalty, right? So there's that test.
Oh, yeah. During this recruitment speech, Darg gives to some non-Federation types. One of them, a Creel, decides to leave.
Bad move.
Very bad move. Darg follows him outside, kills him instantly. Just like that. Brutal display of power.
And then he tells Quint.
Commands Quint to clean up the mess. Establishes the first rule of the organization. We pick up after ourselves. It's cold efficient, and utterly terrifying. Sets the tone for their whole operation. Absolute control, meticulous execution.
Which brings us to the final act, the reckoning. All this stolen tech, all this plotting, where does it lead?
It leads to the Thul sphere, a massive, cloaked Dyson sphere, built with Romulan help, apparently. That's Thul's base of operations.
And his master plan involves the Double Helix virus.
Yes. Brilliant and horrifying. He plans to use the Omega-9 AI, now under his control, to link into every UFP computer system.
Okay.
And then here's the truly insidious part. Force all those common everyday Federation replicators.
The ones in people's homes, on starships.
Everywhere. Force them to synthesize and distribute the Double Helix virus galaxy-wide, using household tech for mass annihilation. It's chillingly clever.
How does it all start to unravel? It always seems to come back to personal history.
It does. Calhoun has this romantic encounter with Varasindra, who is secretly Vandelia, remember?
Right. Still using the Venus drugs supplied by Thul.
And Calhoun happens to mention the name Lodek, the Downtari who whipped his father to death, a name loaded with history for him.
And that name?
It breaks Vara's concentration. She gasps, losing the focus needed to maintain the drug-induced disguise. Her true Orion form flickers through.
The game is up.
The game is up. Thul had actually sent her to seduce and likely betray Calhoun. But realizing who Calhoun is, maybe feeling some loyalty to the man who rescued her years ago, or maybe just seeing a way out, she switches sides. She decides to help Calhoun and Picard infiltrate the sphere.
Which leads to the climax. Calhoun versus Darg, the rescuer in the grudge match.
A brutal showdown. Calhoun uses his hidden boot phaser to create some distance. Then he plants that disguised explosive, the one that looks like his scar, onto the sphere's massive cloaking device core.
And Darg's end.
It's fittingly technological and violent.
Yeah.
Calhoun uses that short-range transporter pip.
The 10-foot jump.
Yeah. He beams Darg directly into the unstable energy field of the cloaking core. Darg is just ripped apart by the energies. And the explosive detonates prematurely, taking out the cloaking device. The whole sphere is thrown into chaos.
Total chaos. Picard's trying to secure the cure for the virus, but realizes it's too late. The Double Helix is being released through the failing Omega-9 interface.
He barely gets out.
Yeah.
Thul, the architect of it all, it ironically gets consumed by his own virus.
And Calhoun rescues Picard. They escape, and they see Lodek's ship nearby, undefended, isolated.
This is it. The moment Calhoun has seemingly lived for. Vengeance for his father is right there. Lodek, helpless.
He targets the ship, raises the phaser banks, ready to finally end it.
Decades of waiting potentially over in an instant. He hesitates.
Picard sees this hesitation, and he reads it as this huge moment of personal growth, right? Calhoun choosing duty, choosing morality over his consuming rage.
A triumph over the need for vengeance.
But then Calhoun drops the bombshell, the raw truth. The phaser banks are empty. Thul's final plan had drained all the ship's weapons systems to power the virus transmission. Calhoun couldn't fire, even if he'd ultimately decided to.
Wow. So connecting that back to our main idea, it really proves the point, doesn't it? These massive, advanced plots, Omega-9, the Dyson Sphere, the virus, they aren't just stopped by flawless heroes. They're often undone by these deeply personal, emotional, sometimes messy choices and circumstances.
Frobisher's fear creating the weapon, Vandelia's desperate need for identity making her a pawn, then a defector, Calhoun's rage constantly simmering.
Exactly. And Calhoun himself acknowledges it. He admits he's not sure if he would have resisted the urge to fire if the phasers had actually worked.
He says something like, it's acceptable to live within the shades of gray on occasion. Like the lack of choice gave him a sort of temporary pass on the moral dilemma.
Which leaves us, and you listening, with a really interesting question, I think. Calhoun seemed to take this tremendous step forward in personal growth, but only because the option to act on his vengeance was removed by circumstance, the empty phasers.
Right. So when does necessity force morality upon us? And when does real character growth only happen when you have the power to do the wrong thing, but actively choose not to?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the real weight of a moral decision when the alternative choice has already been taken off the table for you? Something to think about.